جزائري. جزائري. Well, g'day curd nerds. G'day curd nerds. Well, 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 g'day curd nerds. Welcome back. This is Ask the Cheeseman. I'm your host, Gavin Weber, and hopefully I'll be able to answer your home cheese making questions. This is episode 326. That's up there with the big ones. Thank you so much. First of all, of course, let's not forget to say thank you so much to all of the financial members. These are the YouTube members and the recent ones: Kerry, The Knight, Scarling, Darren, Leslie, and Sophia. And let's not forget all of the patrons, of course. We have a new patron this week, Todd Elner. Thank you, Todd, for becoming a patron. And thank you to all the people that were listed there on the screen. Without your support, there wouldn't be much of a show. So thank you, everybody. And thanks to all the people that sent in photos this week for the gallery. We have quite a few, which is really good. Before we get started on what videos are coming up and all that sort of stuff, let's say g'day to a few people, as we always do. First person was Becky, but she can't hang around, but I do have a question from her, which I will be showing as we go along. And Shauna, g'day Shauna, Kathy, hello Kathy, and Valerie in Oklahoma. We've also got a Nicola. Hello Nicola, lovely to see you and all your goats. Paul, hello Paul, lovely to see you, mate. Michelle Harvey, how are you, Michelle? We got the Albanian, g'day, Algerian, sorry mate. We've also got Ty, g'day Ty, can't hang around today, but you can watch the replay, Ty, thanks mate. Paul, g'day Paul, lovely to see you mate. Sadie, hello, and Matt, hello Matt. Getting all those awards and the grants and stuff. Good on you, mate. Well done. Tracy from Cheese Needs. G'day, Tracy. How are you, mate? Davo. G'day, Davo. Blue Wolf and Maria from the UK. Very late for you. Yes, it is indeed late over in the UK. Now, soon, October. No, it's a while now. Before we go to daylight savings times, it's actually better for everybody. But that's not for a while yet. We're still in the midst of winter, even though the weather is supposed to be, I know it says 13 degrees Celsius there at the moment, but it's supposed to be 22 today, which is massive for winter for us. Hottest winter on record, apparently. Anyway, moving right along. So videos coming up this week will be Triple Udder Blue. So that is nearly finished and ready for release, so that'll be good fun. But yeah, so if you've got any questions, don't hesitate to pop them in the chat, and just like Kathy has done, put 3 Qs in front of the questions so I can pick them up easily in the chat. Okay, so let's get to Kathy's questions. She says, what is the difference between regular cheddar and farmhouse cheddar, such as cooking time and pressing versus hanging? Okay, so regular cheddar undergoes the cheddaring process where the curds are cut into slabs and the slabs are turned over the course of about 2 hours, I think it is, in the proper cheddar factory. And this expels more whey and creates the texture in cheddar that we know and love. And then it's milled into little bits and then salt's thrown over it, and then it's thrown into moulds and then pressed. Farmhouse cheddar is different, where once you cut the curds, instead of letting it drain and form into slabs, you continue to stir it. So it's also known as a stirred curd cheddar. And you stir the curds until they're fairly small, and when you press them, you salt them, then press them, and they actually have a very similar texture to normal cheddar, even though the processes are totally different. So, yeah, it's quite amazing that the two cheeses turn out very similar and same sort of flavour, even though the processes are, like I said, totally different. But thanks, Kathy. Great question. Hanging, I don't hang my farmhouse cheddars per se, so yeah, I'm not sure about that. Ezekiel from Mexico. Hello, mate. How are you? What are the health benefits of cheese? Well, health benefits of cheese are quite easy. High in protein. It's got some fat in it, of course, depending on the cheese. It takes milk, which is a perishable substance, and turns it into something that is, well, in most cases, long life. So back in the old days, as they did, instead of letting the milk spoil, which is only good for about 3 days when it's raw milk, they turned it into cheese, and you could keep it up to 6 months to a year if you made a hard cheese out of it. So it's a great way of storing protein and some fats, and lots of vitamins there as well. So that's the health benefits. Good for you. Look at me, strong as an ox. Set me back. Oh, goodness me. Paul's got a question. It says, hi, Gavin. I aged a Cheshire about 6 months, recently tried it, and it seems like it needed a bit more salt, even though I used the right amount. The cheese is not as hard as others, more pressing. Yeah, Cheshire is supposed to be quite crumbly, Paul. I don't know if it is. Let me know. Yeah, it does need a fair bit of pressing. I can't remember what the pressing weights were off the top of my head, but I think it was quite heavy, similar to cheddar. As far as it needs a bit more salt, did it taste bitter, is my question to you. If it didn't taste bitter, it probably was okay, and it didn't have any off tastes. Because with all of those English style cheddar family, the salt content's about 2.2%. So yeah, anyway, let us know. Cool Cat says, good evening, folks. Good morning in the Southern Hemisphere. Indeed it is. Ezekiel says, what is the most basic cheese for melting, like on a pizza? Well, the number one cheese in the world, which is mozzarella, I suppose, in its various forms: low moisture, high moisture, buffalo mozzarella, cow's milk mozzarella, goat's milk mozzarella, you name it. It was, it's the number 2 eaten cheese in the world is cheddar. So there you go. Paul says it was crumbly, but used the louder molds. Not bitter, just mild. Oh, okay. All right, so the flavour was okay. That's good. Yeah, so if there was any off flavours, then it would have meant that there was not enough salt. So salt is the cure-all kind of for making cheese age properly. Definitely, that's why we add it. And it inhibits some of the lactic bacterial growth, and stops it right there in the pants. So yeah, the louder mold, as you know, Paul, is a little bit tricky sometimes because the pressing times are totally different than if you use a normal basket per se, because they're an industrial mold. So could have been not enough weight maybe. If the cheese didn't seem as hard as it normally is, if that makes sense. Question from Ezekiel, coming thick and fast. So if I make a farmhouse cheese, can I add liquid smoke? Yes, indeed you can. I have done in the past. I actually made a chowder, or gouda for whoever speaks that way. And I actually added some liquid smoke into the milk before I started. And what I could have done, and I should have, was used the liquid smoke as a bit of a rubber on the outside as the cheese was maturing. And I found that even just by adding the liquid smoke into the milk, I got a really nice, subtle, smoky flavour without having to go through all the trouble of lighting up a cold smoker and smoking cheese and hoping for the best. So the colour wasn't there, but the flavour was. So yes, Ezekiel, you can do that, indeed. Hopefully I haven't missed any questions there. Paul says he's got the pictures of the cheese in the stores in Greece if you want to see them. That would be lovely, Paul, if you could send them through to my email address. And if you haven't got it, I'll show you at the end of the gallery how to send through photos. I'm pretty sure you have. Yeah, I'd love to do a video on all of those amazing cheeses and some research on what they are and stuff like that. That would be good. But thank you, Paul, for taking all those photos, and hopefully I'll get them soon. Now, I've got a question for Nicola. Says, you don't have any pigs at the moment, but you purchased a cream separator last week and made butter for the first time. Now, what I know, because the fat globules in goat's milk are really small, what did the cream taste like? Because I've never had goat's milk cream. And how did the butter turn out? Was it brilliantly white butter? Let me know, Nicola. That would be interesting. Tracy says, love the shirt, Gav. Mine arrived and I'm impressed with the quality. You guys should all grab one if help support the channel. It does help support the channel. Thank you. Yes, there's my... Oh, hang on. You can't see it. There you go. Certified Curd Nerd t-shirt. Plug the merch. There we go. There's another one. Keep Calm and Make Cheese. The name of my first and second book. So you can check that out as well. And if you're really excited, and thanks for the plug there, Tracy, there is the merch store, merch.cheeseman.tv, and you can pick up all the lovely merch that I've made over the years and all the designs. So very cool. Alrighty. Tracy says, goat cream tastes like cow cream to me. It makes great butter. Who you going to call goat's butter? Right. Nice. Very cool. Paul says, I have the email. I will try to translate if needed. Cheese is big in Greece, but strangely not much cheddar style. Indeed. Different cultures, different strokes for different blokes, I suppose. So yeah, it'd be, yeah, if I need translations, I can always do a Google Translate if I need to, Paul, but yeah, my keyboard doesn't do Greek alphabet anyway. It's my wife that has colitis, not me. Oh, sorry to hear. What kind of cheese can I eat? Right, so usually it's a low lactose cheese that you need if you have colitis. So I actually have a sister-in-law who has an ulcerated colitis. I think that's what it is. It's something in the bowel. I'm not too sure. But yeah, it's yeah, so anything low lactose, stuff that doesn't produce gas, is often is often eaten. So I hope that helps. I don't know if it does. I'm not a doctor. I wouldn't know. Nicola says, yes, it was beautiful and perfectly white. It took it to a garden group and they loved it, I would think. Tracy, thank you. You're flush with oh, there we go. And there's the flashy light. Finally, the YouTube's connected to my flashy light, and there we go. So as you saw there, when there is a super chat, you get the flashy light. Good on you, Curd Nerd. Thank you for the $13.99 Canadian, Tracy. I really appreciate it. Paul has a question. Yes, put the question in there. Make it happen, and we'll get going. Ezekiel says yes, thank you. Right, okay, I must have got it right then. Okay. Now, you would have seen recently what I received from Lindsay the other day, the last video that I put up, which was, I had to do it in a couple of takes because my legs were hurting, but it was I got it done. But yeah, great haul. And did I? No, I didn't put a photo up. No, it's still on my phone. I stacked it all into my cheese cupboard. Kim helped me. She helped me clean out my cheese cupboard, for want of a better word. Cheese equipment cupboard is what it was. I've got this whole cupboard in the hallway, and instead of linen being in the linen press, I've got cheese. It's not the cheese press; it's the cheese equipment cupboard, and so it's absolutely chock-a-block and looking amazing. I can't wait to get back on my feet properly and be able to make cheese for a long time and get some of those cheeses going. Those moulds just look amazing. Darren says, what is my opinion of using a thermoculture and a Meso 401 culture blend together or separate? Is my question to you. Let me know, Darren, and then I'll answer that. You got keyboard problems. Okay. Shauna says, are there some cheeses air dried in the bench and others in the cheese cave? Yes, there is. So any high acid cheeses are okay air drying, and usually room temperature is around about 21 degrees Celsius. And you'll find a lot of artisan cheese makers do that anyway, and they don't have too many problems. I certainly found that, and just to confirm that, a lot of the high acid cheeses that Long Paddock Cheese made, I visited the factory, and you would have seen that video. The rooms themselves, where they were air drying the cheeses before putting them in the maturation, so it was a pre-room, if that makes sense. That was at about 21 degrees, because I remember I saw the thermostat set at that, and then the cheeses go into the proper cave at 13 degrees when they're ready to go. So they were all high acid cheeses, Alpine cheeses, Italian style, and French style cheeses. But any the Dutch style, the really low acid cheeses, any cheeses where you wash the curds and there's not as much acid in the curds to deter any bad bacteria, Shauna, they're the ones that you should air dry in the cheese cave at 13 degrees Celsius. And obviously, if your room temperature is above 21 Celsius, then it's probably best to air dry in the cheese cave for a couple of days until the cheese is touch dry, and then you're right to go to wax or vacuum pack or whatever you want to do with the cheese. So I hope that helps. I might do a revision in my next update of my cheese books, and do that. Nice. You caught it. Right. Yeah, I'll do a revision in my next cheese books. Sorry. So for those who don't know, well, I'm a lefty. Is that going to work? Cover my face. There we go. Look at that. That's a little gift from Tracy. Cheese needs pen. Very nice. I like the feel of it. It's good. I'll put it down now. Stop playing with it. She sent it to me as a gift. So I don't know if she sends it to all her customers, but it's a nice little pen. I like it. Thank you. Darren has the follow-up. So together, right. It says, my local shop only has the Meso and the Thermo blend. I'm guessing high temperature cheeses will kill the Meso when making. I'm confused. Okay. It's a bit of a strange blend, but Not really. Seeing that, let me think. So I use as a thermophilic for most of my Italian and hard cheese and Alpine sort of cheeses. I use MOT 32, and it actually has 3 thermophilics and 2 mesophilics. So it's a 5 culture blend. Let me just bring it up on the screen because I can. So this is my shop, Little Green Workshops, if you don't know already. We'll go on the cheese making supplies and we'll find the thermophilic MOT, and I'll just let you know. Where is it? There it is. So the blend of cultures, so Lactococcus lactis, subspecies lactis, so it's got one mesophilic, and then it's got Helveticus, Bulgaris, and Streptococcus thermophilus. So 3 thermophilics and one mesophilic. So at the lower temperatures, when you add the cultures, the mesophilic kicks in first, and then the thermophilics as you heat the milk up. So anyway, so those specifications are there in the thing, and you can look at the no, it's not found. I don't have it in the right place. Good website, Gav. Yeah, so if that sort of blend, that seems like a strange blend. I use MA 4000 series for any cheddar style cheeses, if that makes sense. And thermos, pardon me, thermophilics for the Alpine and such. But as a blend together, yeah, it'll work. Don't worry about that. 4000 series also has ST in it, or Streptococcus thermophilus, but it has the same 3 mesophilics as MM100 series, which is used for Dutch cheeses. It'd be interesting. Try a high temperature cheese with it. I think it'll work well. Other than that, I'm not sure what the profile of the cultures are, or how much of each culture there is, without looking at a specification sheet. So, yeah, if you use that blend for low temperature cheeses or the cheddar styles or what have you, you'll find the curds will be a lot firmer because the thermophilic acts on the curds and makes them different than what you would if you had a normal meso. Sean says above 21 Celsius. I'm in Tassie. We're lucky to get that in summer, of course. Paul says, hi Gav, I watched your Stilton videos. Would you say the first older video was better to make Stilton? No, I think both versions of the video stand by themselves. The one where I wrapped it in cloth, which was the second one, the last one, worked well, and the cheese had an amazing flavour, but I had to scrape some off, of course, as you saw. But yeah, I think both videos are fine. The first one was stronger, if that makes sense, as in stronger flavour. But yeah, the second one was equally as nice. So you can try both if you haven't already, Paul. Okay. Tracy says, most people get a pen. I like the blue ink. Nice. Mate, that's a lovely little gift to give away. Yeah, cheers for that. And I use it all the time. I got another one. You gave me 2. Look, there's even one in the wrapper still. I haven't even got to that one yet. So anyway, Paul just sent a super chat. I don't know if the light's going to come up. Should do in a minute. Sending a gift your way. I need to leave now, so we'll have to watch the replay. Thank you, Paul. Appreciate the $25 US. That is amazing. And the light hasn't gone off, but we'll do it before you go, that's for sure. It's thinking about it. There we go. Thank you, mate. Appreciate the kind super chat there. Okay, you might get a second go too. There we go. Darren says, thank you, Gavin. I think you have... Oh, there it is again. Thanks, Paul. I think you cleared it up for me. I will try that. Yep, no problems at all. Super duper. Now, we've got 5 minutes to go before the gallery starts, so if you've got any more questions, shoot them through straight away. Benjamin B. Hello, Benjamin Bunny. So happy to catch it live from the legend himself. Thank you very much. There's a bit of coffee there. Nice. Keep the brain cells flowing. Thanks for the light. Mate, you're most welcome. I paid for the electricity and everything off the solar panels on top of the garage. So, yeah, probably would have. Alrighty, let's start the gallery early, shall we? Without any questions forthcoming. Let's do that. Let me just get it up and see if I can... Right, there we are. Okay, so the gallery... Before we start the gallery, we have one question from Becky, who can't make it today. So I'll read it out and see if I can... it's massive, so we'll see. I'll have to answer it as we go along. But yeah, this will fill the time until the gallery. So Becky Stelzner says, and she's from South Africa, says, Dear Gavin, I'm glad you're back on the mend. As usual for this time of year, I will have to listen to a replay in the morning after you air it, but I have some technical questions about low temperature long hold. I've made several cheeses with a brand of raw milk that is convenient for me because I can get it at a store near me. However, at least 2 of the cheeses, both Guidos, have been late blown or have had Swiss cheese type holes in them. I did pasteurize the milk with low temperature long hold, which is a pasteurization method, and there's a video about it on the channel. Although the temperature dropped below 63 Celsius towards the end of the 30 minutes, I started at 65, so the range was between 59 and 65 over 30 minutes. The cheeses literally hissed when I cut into them, so there was a fair amount of gas pressure. One of the cheese had holes that were very horizontal, so it did look like they were blowing, and in the other one, the holes weren't really horizontal, but very large, and they looked like they might split horizontally if I left it longer. I opened that one at 3 months. Okay, it would have been great if there was some photos, Becky, of the cheeses. Cheeses hissing at you is not a good sign at all. It sounds like the cows may have been fed on silage, which caused butyric acid to be present in the milk, and with low temperature long hold, it doesn't really kill those off, the pasteurization. I've even had late blown cheeses happen with higher temperature pasteurized milk at 72 Celsius, because it's what's in the milk itself, not necessarily any bad bacteria per se. It's butyric acid that reacts and causes hydrogen and gives you those fissures in your cheese. There's only one way to really kill those off. Obviously use your pasteurization as you have been, which is good, and I noted at the start of the chat you've got yourself a precision cooker now, so you should be able to control the temperature of your pasteurization a lot better in your batch pasteurization. The only thing that really kills it off is an enzyme called lysolac. Yeah, that's it. Lysolac is an egg white derivative that is added to the milk at a very small quantity. However, it kills the bacteria that causes the butyric acid, if that makes sense, and you don't get any late blowing. Most Dutch cheeses, the manufacturers add Lysolac, and I even saw on a Manchego cheese that I bought from Spain, a real PDO cheese from Spain, the Manchego proper with sheep's milk. One of the ingredients was Lysolac on it. So there you go. And that stops the bacteria that causes butyric acid and causes the fissures. So all the other questions you have here, so you've got like 3 questions. None of them, it's not that they don't make sense, it's not the cause of what you're after. So, seeing it's winter there in South Africa, same as it is here in Australia, more than likely the cows that are giving you the raw milk are being fed on silage because grass doesn't grow fast enough in the pastures. So yeah, I think that would probably be the main cause. Okay, and like I said, Lysolac is the only thing that will stop it. Now, one of the other ways to prevent late blowing is by using a preventative culture. It works sometimes, not all the time, and it's called LPRA by Sacco, or it's called Holback LC by Danisco, and they're preventative cultures. They contain 2 bacteria called Lactobacillus lactis subspecies rhamnosus and Lactobacillus lactis subspecies plantarum. And those 2 preventative cultures inhibit mold and some bacteria growth. And I have had some success using those to stop late blowing. Anyway, so Becky goes on to say that there is still a recently made Budokaser that isn't showing any swelling yet, but is only a few weeks old. Well, Budokaser only matures for a few weeks, so you should be good on that. Anyway, she says, as always, thank you for your help to the cheese making community, and I think your haul of equipment from Lindsay was fabulous. Thanks again, Becky. Thank you, Becky, and hopefully I've answered your question. All right, so let's get onto the gallery proper. Here we go. Where the heck is it? There we go. Alrighty, so this week's gallery is brought to you, the Curd Nerds, watching right now. And thank you for the lovely pictures. So, first of all, this is from David. And David says, G'day, Gav. This is, Dave. Says, for the Italian viewers that only watch the channel closely, here's some quick mozzarella, which he's made there. Nice looking quick mozzarella. And pineapple pizzas I made with it. Very nice. And you've made the dough yourself and everything. Look at all that stuff. And the sauce, nice. I like it. And there's your cheese all crumpled up there. Very nice indeed. Well done, Dave. You have some more photos, I think. There is a batch of... Oh, there's your pineapple pizza. Cooked. Very nice. I bet it tasted amazing too. And the cheese melted perfectly. Then there's a chowder that got late blown after 10 weeks of aging. That's not good at all. A bit too much activity there in the chowder. Hopefully you didn't eat it. What's this? This is a batch of French cream cheese, and there is the blueberry cheesecake I made with it. That's a nice looking cheesecake. Well done. And last but not least, no, there's something about a Gruyere. Where is it? It says then my Gruyere this year got the same thing at the same age. I'm hoping that LPRA and better temperature control will stop it on my next attempts, Dave. Yeah, me too. And hopefully that will help. All right, that is the best looking cheesecake I've seen all day. So it's the only cheesecake I've seen all day, but that's a good looking cheesecake. All right, next. Thank you, Dave, for sending those in. We got David Turner, who has also sent in some photos. Thank you, David. Here we go here. This says, "Hi, Gavin, new curd nerd here. My favourite cheese is apricot Wensleydale. So I had to give it a go making some. I spread some apricot jam on one of the slices to give it that apricot flavour, and the results are amazing. I'm going to have to make this one again since it won't last long. That is a novel idea. Wensleydale is slightly crumbly, like you can see there, and it's a nice looking cheese you've made. And, yes, with apricot jam on top. Very nice." David goes on to say, "I'm curious if you have ever done anything like repressing cheese. I've read that the flavoured Wensleydales from the store are just aged as plain Wensleydales and then repressed after the aging has completed with the fruit and whatever other sweeteners. Any idea how this might be able to be accomplished with homemade cheese, or is it not worth the effort?" It's easy enough to achieve. What you have to do is break up or shred the cheese, not using a grater. It's got to be in clumps. And what you do is add back dried apricots that have been soaked, boiled, so they will lose a bit of their sweetness. And that'll also get rid of the sulphur that's usually on the outside of dried apricots. Chop them up finely and then mill them through the curds and add any other sweetener, and then repress overnight, fairly heavy, probably about 50 pounds or 22 kilos of pressure, and you will get a similar sort of cheese as they do with those repressed cheeses. Now, you'll have to press it fairly heavy, as I said, because it will have a tendency not to stick together and to fall apart. There aren't any binding agents or anything there. And yeah, it'll have to be eaten within, if you don't vacuum pack it, probably 2 weeks, I would say, because the sugars will make the cheese ferment and you'll get some off flavours. So it is it worth doing? Probably not. I don't know. I've done a Wensleydale with apricots in it already. I've done Wensleydales with sage as well, a line of sage through the middle, and they are absolutely fantastic. Dried sage leaves that are picked from the garden and then processed in the oven at 120 degrees Celsius. So they kind of like dried and shriveled out, but I put them as a middle layer, like that ash layer you see in Morbier. And I have done a Wensleydale with apricots where I've used dried apricots, but I didn't mature the Wensleydale as long as they normally are. Anyway, I hope that helps, David. Do you have any more photos? Nope. Next one is from Kathy, and Kathy says, "Hi, Gavin. How I use cheese in healthy recipes." Okay, can we make these a bit bigger? Right, there we go. So she's got quite a few here. So the first one is grits with cheddar and egg. I'm not sure what grits are, personally. And I've only heard of the term from movies and television. We don't have it here in Australia. I think it's corn, maybe. Let me know in the chat, Kathy. What else? So another recipe she has here. This is chicken gnocchi soup with hard grated cheese like Parmesan. Very nice. And I like the gnocchi soup. I've never had gnocchi soup before. I've just had gnocchi with a sauce over the top. Gnocchi is a potato dumpling made in Italy. The next is, this is an Asiago stash. She shredded it or grated it, and it's for the fridge. Okay, very cool. There we go. That's better. And then there is a Greek salad with feta. So the feta's homemade as well. It's very nice. I like the bits of bread on the side. Hopefully the butter's homemade as well. The next one is fruit with ricotta and honey. Very nice, homemade ricotta with a bit of fruit. I like the chocolate bits. Always nice to a little bit of fruit there. Lovely. And the last one is, what's this then? This is veggie nachos with cheddar melted on top. That looks delicious. Well done, Kathy. And Kathy says in the chat, it's called hominy corn is what the grits are made from. Yes, it is corn. She also used cheese in the gnocchi as well. All right, fantastic. Thank you so much for sending in those photos of the cheese that you have made. And I noticed, that's strange. I'm just looking at this. So the corn is, I don't know if you can see it, it's a bit grainy. The corn is white. Is that a normal thing? The only corn that we have over here, maybe it's just me, is yellow. I have grown red corn before, you know, the heirloom sweet corn. Oh, it's not sweet corn, it's corn. And we've ground that up to use, what did we make with it? It was like a polenta type of thing. Maybe that's the same thing as grits, I'm not sure. Kathy says, here in the US we have white and yellow. Okay, that's cool. There you go. So I have grown heirloom corn, and they have been reds and yellows and crimsons and scarlets and all that sort of colour, and yellow, of course. But yeah, that's fantastic. Thank you, Kathy, for those lovely photos. We do have one more, I think. This is from Michelle. Michelle Harvey says, hi, this is Michelle. I made a Swiss cheese with it using our raw milk and Ricky Carroll's recipe from her book. I was really happy to see the eyes. Now, those eyes are quite irregular, but because you've added propionic shamani, it's safe to eat. Did it have a nutty flavour is my question to you, Michelle, if you're still in the chat. It looks amazing. So, nice looking cheese. But yes, some of those eyes are a little bit irregular. Normally you would get rounder eyes if you've used propionic shamani. But as long as the flavour was there, that's what it's all about. And thanks to everybody who sent in photos to the gallery today. That was it, I think. Let's have a look. Yep, that was the last one. Okay, so how do you send your photos in? Well, let me show you right now. We go to the Gav's channel. So Gavin Weber, as you've seen many times before. And we click on this bit here where it says, do you want to become a Kurd nerd? And it says more. Just click on that. You get this little pop-up box going on. This is the same in mobile as well. And it says view email address. So click on that, and that's the email address to send any photos to me for the gallery. And in fact, any correspondence, I answer most of them when I get time. But yeah, there may be a delay in answering some questions, but yeah, shoot them through. Photos mainly, questions leave it to the show, this show here. But yeah, so that would be lovely. So send them through. Thank you very much. Okay, I think we've got some more questions here. Paul says, which cheese did you find the most difficult to make? Just curious, mine was Shropshire Blue. Tasted great, but a pain to make. Yeah, that was a difficult cheese to make. Same here. I made it too dry, and it didn't knit together, and it fell apart, and you saw that in the video. Let me think. There's another one. Blue cheeses are always a bit of a pain, but I kind of got the hang of them now, because what I do is once they've got their blue, coating after about 10 days, once they're pierced, put them back into the cheese fridge for another couple of weeks, just in a ripening box, and then once you get a blue coating all over, what I tend to do was wrap them in foil, and then put them back in the cheese fridge, and that really inhibits the growth of the Penicillium roqueforti on the outside. It's not the most difficult to make. Some of the more difficult ones, probably on the nose, if anything, are the washed rind cheeses. So anything that uses Brevibacteria linens, because during affinage, they're not difficult to make during the making process. It's the affinage, or the ripening process or maturing process, that is the most difficult. And I find that I always tend to forget the washed rind cheeses. So, you got to do the Brevibacteria wash and keep that in the fridge, and then wash it every couple of days, every 3 days to start with, to get that red smear on the outside so that it starts to ripen properly from the outside in. They are the biggest pain, because I don't treat the unfortunately, I'm a busy man, as we all are, men and women, and I find that it is difficult to keep an eye on affinage. If you're a real cheesemaker, and I found this out, they've actually got a person in the cheese factory. That's their job, is the affinage. They're the ones that turn the cheeses. The cheesemakers are still making the cheese, the head cheesemakers, and there's a person that does all the affinage. So there's two people in a factory that do, well, there's more than two people, but there's one person dedicated to turning the cheeses, checking them, make sure they're maturing okay. So it's a full-time job for a person. So I find in home cheese making, if I've got like 3 or 4 or 5 cheeses on the go in the cheese cave, and videos that I'm making, and cheeses I'm maturing, the washed rind cheeses often get neglected, and that's my biggest downfall, is not being able to maintain those properly. And they are the biggest pain in the bottom, is the washed rind cheeses. That's, I find. Bloomy rind cheeses, no problems. Get them to 14 days. They've got a white coating on them. Wrap them in micro perforated paper, the cheese wrap stuff, and put them in the kitchen fridge, and then eat them in another 2 weeks, and they're good to go. So they're easy. It's the washed rind ones that need so much love and attention. They're just incredible. Anyway, great question. Thank you, Paul. Tracy says, Gav, did you see that did you see Matt's success story in Learn to Make Cheese? He just got certified, so now he can sell his cheese in the UK. So proud of him. Me too. Yeah, I did have a quick read of that story, but well done, Matt. You've got your little cheese place out the back now. I saw the photos of the construction of that and the pressing room and all that sort of stuff. So congratulations, Matt. Well done. You've chosen to go down the path of most resistance, I suppose, for a home cheese maker, but you've gone from home cheese maker through to artisan cheese maker, and congratulations. Hopefully you'll get some sales of the cheeses. It's difficult to market, but if you've got some awards under your belt, which is absolutely fantastic for some of the cheeses you make, so you get some recognition there, which is perfect on getting sales afterwards. So it's a full-blown business now. So congratulations and kudos to you, Matt. I really, really think it's an amazing thing to go from a home cheese maker through to artisan cheese maker, and keep that passion burning. So well done, mate. Good on you. Michelle says, yes, it was nutty flavour. Thanks for asking. Okay, so that was for the picture of your cheese in the gallery. Well done. Tracy says that Shropshire Blue is a monster, but it tastes so good though. Yes, it's very strong too. I found that mine, I served some up for Christmas years back now, when my dad came down to visit from Queensland, and I served it up, and my lord, it was strong. It was a strong cheese. Bitey. It was a bitey blue. Don't you worry about that. It certainly is a monster. I don't know. I've never seen it in the shops here for sale in Australia. I know it's fairly common in the UK, But yeah, I'd like to get me hands on some of the real product and see how strong it actually is. But it's a nice cheese. It's very strong. I don't know if I'd ever make it again, but yeah, it's a pretty good cheese. Anyway, goodness me, time for a sip. Okay, now there have been people asking on the on my Little Green Cheese channel. I've got a few channels. You know, you got channels everywhere on YouTube. The King's Trust Australia Award has not yet been announced. Our business put in for it, and I had to do a pitch video, basically, on why we wanted the funds and how our business was growing and all that sort of stuff. For those who haven't seen it, go and search for Little Green Workshops on YouTube, and you'll see that'll be the last video that was posted. Hang on, I'll get the link. Why not? I can do that right now. I think I showed the video a couple of weeks ago. Where is it, Gav? Find the link to the video. Just singing for you. Okay, here it is. Gav, where's the share button? Right, there we go. So let's pop it into the chat. So if you haven't seen that video, go and have a look. Leave a comment underneath it. Maybe it'll influence the judges. I doubt it, but go and have a look. This is the King's Trust Australia Enterprise Accelerate Award submission by Gavin Weber, is what the title is. I know it's a bit long-winded, but yeah, it's me telling our story on how we started Little Green Workshops and subsequently the YouTube channel and all the videos and all the good stuff. But anyway, that's our story. Go and check it out. Leave a comment. That'd be fantastic. What else have I got to say today? We got 8 minutes to go. So also, for those who want more cheesy content and haven't delved into the world of podcasts, then I've got a treat for you. I've had a podcast going. It's called Little Green Cheese, hosted by Gavin Weber. It used to be audio only. Now it's audio and video. So this is its presence on YouTube. You can find it on... Oh, where can you find it? It's on YouTube Music. It's on Amazon Music. It's on Apple Podcasts. It's on Spotify. Oh, it's everywhere. So if you want to have a cheesy good time, there's 103 episodes so far. I usually do about 6 a year. And mainly they're interview based. Sometimes I do a solo narrative as well. But yeah, it's good fun. If you haven't seen some of the episodes or listened to some of the episodes, then go all the way back to the start if you haven't. If you haven't listened to any of them, and go all the way back to the start. There are some fantastic interviews with just plain old home cheese, not plain, and they're not old, cheesemakers at home. And yeah, there's a lot of great listening. There's hours and hours of audio and video content there. So I'll put the link to that YouTube channel into the chat, and you can go and check that out. There we go. All right. That was the last plug for today. Matt said, thanks, Gav, and you, Tracy. Thanks to you and the Learn to Make Cheese for getting me going. No problems at all, Matt. Mate, you're a superstar as far as I'm concerned. I just don't have the time or energy to go from home cheese maker to artisan cheese maker. My gig is selling the kits and all that sort of stuff and the supplies off the back of the YouTube videos that I help teach people to make cheese, and that's my bag, baby, if to quote Austin Powers, I suppose. Anyway, moving right along. All right, that's it for today, ladies and gentlemen. We'll call it to a close now. Like I said before, if you have any photos, please send them through for next week's gallery. I would really like that. And thank you to all the people who sent their photos through this week. Without the gallery, it wouldn't be much of a show. I know last week there was no gallery and I just had to talk all the time. Goodness me. Anyway, thanks for watching, Curd Nerds. Appreciate you joining today, and thank you to all the financial members again. And thank you to the 2 super chats during the show. It's been absolutely fabulous to talk to everybody again. I will be back in the kitchen soon. I have a few videos that I've got finished, but need finishing touches, of course. Now, like I said, they may only be the process because one of the cheeses, due to neglect, died. So it will not be making a presence. But that was the Comté, so I'll just be doing the process video, and I'll state that during the video. But anyway, we'll get those done this week and get them up. So that'll be good fun as well. All right, thanks for watching, Curd Nerds, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.